The empty lake. The young monk struggled up the narrow mountain path, his legs burning. He had been climbing for hours in search of his teacher's remote forest hermitage. The sun filtered through the lush canopy above, painting shadows on the rocks. Finally he arrived at a small wooden gate. He entered to find his teacher, an elderly monk named Yao, meditating in a small garden. At the sound of the gate, Yao opened his eyes and smiled. "Welcome, Wei. I have been expecting you." Wei bowed low. "Teacher. I have come for instruction. I wish to attain enlightenment." Yao nodded. "Your journey is commendable, but enlightenment cannot be grasped or attained. It is nothing to be gained anew, but rather something to uncover. It is the open sky that already exists." Wei looked disappointed. As he was eager for a means to realize enlightenment as quickly as possible. Yao laughed softly. "Do not be troubled. I will show you the way. But you must be patient, like a still lake that reflects the moon without judgment or desire." Yao pointed to a narrow trail continuing up the mountain. "Take this path over the peak until you come upon a lake. Remain there and reflect inwardly upon your true nature. Observe how your thoughts and desires arise and fall like ripples on the water. Yet behind those ripples lies an immense stillness. Become aware of that silent depth within." Wei bowed again and set off along the path. He walked for several hours, scrambling over boulders and dead logs until finally he reached the other side of the peak. There, in a small mountain valley, lay a tranquil lake, its surface mirroring the open sky. Wei found a flat rock and sat by the water's edge, closing his eyes. At first, his mind was filled with thoughts of longing, restlessness, and doubt. But as dusk fell over the valley, a sense of deep calm emerged within him. His thoughts faded into silence, leaving only still awareness, open and clear as the lake before him. Wei remained perfectly motionless through the night, becoming one with the silent depths beneath all that arose within him. The moon rose over the peak, casting its reflection on the glassy surface of the lake. Yet Wei remained immersed within a light that had no opposite in darkness. As dawn broke over the valley, Wei opened his eyes. But it seemed as if for the first time. A hawk soared through the open expanse above. Wei watched it, seeing himself within it, and all things as a seamless whole. He rose and walked back down the narrow path, arriving at Yao's hermitage once more. Yao was again meditating in the garden and opened his eyes as Wei approached. He saw instantly that a deep change had occurred within the young monk. Wei now peered out at the world with the empty clarity of the lake, reflecting all things yet grasping none. Yao smiled. "You have uncovered your true nature, shining through as the lake shines through its ripples. Now you must continue to refine through practice, polishing the mirror to remove the last traces of distortion." Wei bowed, understanding at last his teacher's meaning. Enlightenment was not to be attained but recognized. It had always been as open and empty as the lake, waiting only for the ripples of thought to subside. He had returned the same yet profoundly changed, a traveler who arrives at the place from which he never left. The lake had led him not to stillness alone, but to the limitless source of both movement and rest. Wei had come to his teacher longing to gain enlightenment. He left having uncovered it as the empty sky and open awareness that were his deepest self, that had been with him, unchanging, since before he could seek at all.